morning BreadCast. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to pick up where we left off yesterday in the book of Proverbs. We are doing a walkthrough in the book of Proverbs. We are in the 3rd chapter. And let's pick it up where we left off last time, talking about God's leading. So we're going to pick it up in verse 5 just to kind of touch on what we left off with last time so we can kind of continue on. Verse 5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and do not lean on your own understanding." Verse 6 says, "In all of your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight." Last time we kind of highlighted a little bit how we need to kind of pound that in a little bit and make sure that it gets from your head to your heart and let God lead you. Sometimes your natural intellect will want to make a decision, but God will have a better plan. And just being able to follow him is a good thing. That's what Proverbs is all about, having wisdom and understanding. Wisdom, once again, is the proper application of knowledge. And God says in the book of Job that wisdom is not found in the land of the living. Wisdom begins with the fear of the Lord. So anyway, we're going to move on today to verse 7 of chapter 3. And verse 7 says, "Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil." So, I mean, we read that in just a passive sense usually, but as we go back on some of the teachings that we did in the beginning on the book of Proverbs, we realize when it says, "Be not wise in your own eyes, but fear the Lord." So fearing the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And turning away from evil is understanding, if we remember those verses. So here's what we're doing here. In verse 7, he's saying, "Be not wise in your own eyes." So what does that mean? Don't get puffed up, prideful, think you have it down, but stay humble. Fear the Lord. Use wisdom and understanding. Verse 8 says, "It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones." Now, that is a pretty amazing verse. As you look a little deeper, I want to give you a verse from Proverbs chapter 14, verse 30 real quick, just to kind of give you an understanding about how if you're allowing your spirit to get bitterness and envy and anxious and these things, they get into your spirit and they have physical manifestations. And they make you sick, basically. Proverbs 14:30 says, "A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot." So living outside of the Lord, having these things that get into your heart, these bad seeds get into your heart and growing weeds, they manifest in physical form if you let them fester long enough. All right? I mean, a lot of it, of what I base these teachings on from the beginning, we talked about the seed of the word and how you plant it in your heart and it grows and it brings forth fruit. Just know that good seed gets planted and bad seed can get planted if you don't watch out. So I look at it this way. If you've ever planted a garden, you know you don't have to tend to weeds to make them grow. They just grow. But good fruit and good plants, you need to nurture them, pull the weeds out, and water them so that they grow. It's harder to grow good fruit than it is bad fruit. Bad fruit just comes by natural process. Okay, so I wanted to touch on that. And let's remember Proverbs 16:18 when we're talking about be not wise in your own eyes. He's talking about don't get puffed up and don't get prideful and don't get, think you got it down. Because Proverbs 16:18 says, "Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall." Listen, you start to get puffed up, you're coming down. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it's going to happen. All right? Proverbs 11:2 says, "When pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with the humble is wisdom." So there's this verse 7, be not wise in your own eyes, but fear the Lord and turn away from evil. There's a lot to it. In verse 8, that says, it will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. Stay in the Lord. Walk in his wisdom. Pound it in. Get it down in your spirit. Let it be part of your being and walk it out every day. And I want to leave it right there for today. Join us again next time on the BreadCast. And remember, like, subscribe, and share these, and hit the notification bell. And we'll see you again next time on the Morning BreadCast. God bless.